Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to make like a ball, right? We want to make something that's going to bounce around the screen. So same thing that we did with our player character. We're going to right click. We're going to insert object. We're going to go to active. Going to hit OK. I'm going to click on the center of the screen. And again, I don't want it to stay as the diamond. That's a weird shape for this. So again, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to go to the clear button. That clears it. Now this one, instead of using the rectangle, I'm going to use the ellipse tool because I want to make a circle. I want to make a ball. So I'm going to click it. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to drag from top left to bottom right so that it fills the area I want. So it looks pretty good. And again, I don't want this to actually be green on green. I'm going to keep the green outline. But what I can do, a nice thing I can do is, let's say I want to have a red inside. I can click red, then click the paint bucket tool and fill the red. So now I have a green outline around a red ball. So it looks pretty good. And I don't really have to crop this down because it's already touching the top, bottom, left, and right edges. So I don't really need to do much else. All I need to do is hit OK. And now I have the ball sprite that I'm going to use. I'm going to shrink it down a tiny bit. So we have our player and we have the ball. Now if I run the game, you can probably already figure out what the problem is. I can move the player, but the ball itself is still not moving. So we're going to close this. And again, yes, you got it right. We're going to go over to our properties menu. Make sure we're in our movement tab. And you're going to see, yeah, we don't have a movement type selected. We're going to click that menu. Instead of static, you'll see that, yes, they already have a bouncing ball, like pre-built movement here. And this is great. We can click the bouncing ball and it's going to tell us initial direction. It can go initially in all of these directions. Now, here's the thing. Initial direction literally means when the game starts. Now, when the game starts, I don't necessarily want it going straight up, right? You know, in Breakout games, you usually have the ball starts and it comes down. So what I can do is I can go ahead and I can uncheck everything except for the ones that are pointing in a downward cone, right? I can take these guys. Actually, no, I'll go until there, about like a 45-degree angle or something here toward the bottom. So now the ball, when it starts, will go that way. But because of the bouncing ball movement, you'll notice it doesn't give a different direction. Because it's a bouncing ball movement, it will then move after it bounces off of something. It'll automatically move in the opposite direction. We don't have to code it to move in the opposite direction, unlike we did the last time we did this in Scratch. What we do instead is we have to make sure it just collides with our player character. So let's try this out. Let's run this. Let's see how this guy moves. And you can see we have a slight problem. That it moves. It's great. With success, we have movement, but it moves straight through our character. So this is a problem. The two sprites are not seeing each other, right? And that's the problem with sprites. They need to be able to see each other. They need to have a collision of some sort. They need to know that, oh, these things have touched, and after they touch, something has to happen. So there's a couple of things we have to do. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go up top here, and we're going to go into our event editor. Now this is there's this row of buttons up here, right? And they kind of look all very similar. They look kind of like spreadsheet buttons. We're going to find the one that when you hover over it, it is the event editor. You can also hold down the control button on your keyboard and hit the E button. And this will bring you into your event editor. Now I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit here for you guys. Give me one moment. Now the way this works, and it'll make more sense once we do one or two things here, is on the left side, you have an event. That is something that happens or something that you do as the player. So for example, we want to say when the ball hits the player, the ball is going to bounce. That's what we want to have happen, right? Very simple. If we think about the gameplay in simple terms, ball hits the player, ball bounces. So I click on new condition and it's going to give me icons. Now these icons are going to take some getting used to. You will eventually know what each of these things stand for and mean. But what we're going to do here first is we're, again, thinking about what is the thing that's doing something, right? We're saying when the ball hits the player. So we're going to go to active 2 here, which is the ball, and we click on it. Now, when I click on it, it gives me a whole bunch of menus. And it's going to say, basically, what do you want to have happen? Well, when the ball, and when it hits something, that's a collision. So basically, when the ball collides with another object, well, the other object is going to be the player, right? So this seems right. when the ball collides with another object, we're going to click on it, and it's going to ask you, well, what's the other object? And we're going to pick this guy, which is the player, right? The active, the first active. So now it says, when there is a collision between the ball and the player character, then over here is where you say what happens. So when there's a collision between the ball and the player, I'm going to go over to the ball and click the little box here. Now here's the thing, you need to right click that box. And we want the ball to bounce, right? We want it to hit it and bounce off of it. So that means we need to do movement. And luckily, because they have the bounce stuff built into it, all we need to do is click the bounce. So now we literally have, when there's a collision between the ball and the player, the ball will bounce. Let's see if that works. And it does, it bounces. But unfortunately, we have another problem. The ball goes off the screen, right? So this is not like Scratch. Those of you who do Scratch before, Scratch knows where the edges of its screen are. And so you can just tell it to bounce when it hits the edge of the screen. Clickteam Fusion is not like that. Clickteam Fusion, you need to build physical boundaries so that this thing does not go off the screen. But that's okay. We already know how to do this, actually. We've figured out how to do this.